Welcome to another great episode of the Darren Green Show. This is episode 153. Here, joined by my lovely co-host Derek Daw. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How
You
are
know,
you?
how you doing on this marvelous day? Like it's great.
It's
Um,
Friday again. Like
yeah,
that's crazy. The time is
not
now
it's
going.
Friday again.
This month feels like it's taken a year, but
hmm
like the weeks keep on coming. So I'm like,
I
damn,
don't.
this is like I feel like this is the eighth week of January already.
So I mean, you feel like this month is going by fast?
No, I feel like the weeks are going by fast, but the month is taking forever. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this is. I feel like this is the eighth. This is the eighth Friday of January at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's to me, I guess because I'm not like working or I'm not working yet.
Yeah.
Is feeling a little slow because I'm just like, child, I need to get up out this damn house. I need to get to getting. Um, hey,
So what's
listeners,
new?
if you are watching us on YouTube, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video. If you like the video, you know that algorithm be algorithming, and we need to get more views. If you like the video, it shows up more on the subscribers pages. Listeners, how are you doing? Wherever you're listening to this podcast, thank you so much for
Right.
taking time out of your busy schedules to come on and listen to us and talk about celebrity gossip and all that good stuff.
We are also live on Bigo right now. So
Yes, we're also live on Bigo. Hey, Bigo.
if you're not a Bigo user, make sure you guys go download the Bigo Live app from your app store. It's totally free. You can come on with me and Darren during the live broadcast of the show. You can gift us, show us some support,
hmm
join in the comments, let us know what you think about these topics, and we'll discuss them right here on the show. So we really do appreciate all of our listeners on every platform. We expanded, honey. We are everywhere.
Yes.
All right. So Darren,
hmm
what has been new with you for this week? Like, what have the past 7 days brought you?
Well, I mean, this week was kind of eventful, and this is very shocking to me because this is like, oh my god, like I never really be doing that. But
Mhm.
I haven't been going nowhere like physically, but I've been collaborating with other people, talking to other creators. I've been actually booking more interviews for the show, so
Yes.
be up on that. Um, actually doing one tomorrow, which is crazy. But also, I had to write contracts. I'm like, not me out here writing some contracts because somebody wants to join the Portray Audio roster, which Portray Audio is the new name for my podcast network. I wanted to change it from Green Radio.
Okay.
So I've just been really working on the brand, the network, the podcast, and just everything. I see now that the Darren Green Show has 500 subscribers, so I have access. I've been granted access to the community tab. Um, as you can see, I
Okay.
posted a couple stuff today. So,
Yes.
I'm really excited about what's going on, and we're just moving up.
Very
I'll
good.
just keep on going up. How you been? Because I know I've seen you.
I have been good. I can't complain. So my week started literally Monday. I had a performance at OTA,
hmm
and it was my first time performing in that venue or in that space. And it's a Kiki ball they have every week in Brooklyn. And as nervous as I was, like I had so much fun, like seeing the crowd interact and like chanting back, "It's a chop"
Mm.
during the performance. Like
Yes.
they got into the music, and then I performed "Mirror," which is my upcoming single. And people literally after I performed it was asking me like, "Where can I find us?" Like it's not out yet, but just subscribe to me on the streaming
hmm
platforms, and you will know when it hits. Um, and just really trying to focus on getting some new content edited, land some more bookings, and so that I can get in the back in the space of like performing more. And really like that's been it really.
Mm.
Keeping my eyes and ears to the streets, trying to stay out of the way of Miss Rona, honey.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, so that was the highlight of my week was being able to perform for a new crowd and seeing that they actually enjoyed the music, and it
hmm
it let me know that I'm definitely on the right path, and I just want to continue to do more of that, and yeah, that's it. Oh, also launched a campaign too. I want to do my music video within the next couple of
Oh
months.
yeah, yeah. Heard about that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, so I'm trying to raise $3,500 to cover the expenses the new video. And I was like, should I go for me? Should I do a Kickstarter? I was like, that takes too long. So I'm just putting out there like, hey, if you guys want to donate, you can definitely go to thederekball.com. There's a money sign on the website on the homepage. You can donate there. You can find me on Venmo, Cash App, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I want to make sure that this video, it'll be my first music video, like my first professional music video. So I want to make sure that it's done right.
Yeah, just from just I don't have experience with it, but I know our I've taken classes where they say, "Oh, do the Kickstarter thing." Kickstarter people are very generous on Kickstarter. I mean, I you know, if you just put out an ad, people really be supporting people.
Yeah, but you know what I also noticed, like Kickstarter, they only pay you if you meet your goal.
Oh,
and so it's like, okay, well, if I don't make it to 3,500, they cancel it and send the money back to the people. I'm just like, well, I don't want that. Like,
oh, never mind. Okay, not GoFundMe. Okay,
right. I'm like, just send me what y'all want to send me, honey. Like, we'll make it.
That's shape. Weird. Oh, see, good thing that you told me that, because I was really about to do a Kickstarter for this network, and I'm like, if I don't make the mark, I mean, y'all sent. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they say it's always good if you're going to do a campaign like that to already have at least half of the money fundraised, so that you can put it in there, so it shows that people are donating, so that you can make your mark. But I'm literally starting over from scratch. Like, that's, you know, from, like they say, started from the bottom, now I'm here. I'm like, started from the bottom, now I'm here at the bottom again. So help me fight my way back to the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Are you going to let us know what video is going to be for, or is that a secret? I'm trying to interview.
So I think right now, I think Mirror is the song that people are really like relating to the most. Like, it's an empowerment song, it's a feel good song, but
it makes more sense that it be
chopped. I think we're over. Right. So people are like, when we're gonna get chopped? So after performing that song and seeing how the crowd responds to Chop, and it's such a chanty type of song, I think that going into the next summer, it was Song of the Summer last summer, and I think that if we do a good visual for it, it'll definitely boost it. And you know, prepare and lead the way for the album, and then when the album drops, then drop a visual, work on a visual for Mirror. But Mirror is the next single, but I think that doing a video for Chop is long overdue, and want to get some fabulous fashion in it. You know, do a nod to ballroom scene, and, you know, create a cultural moment. So working with a producer that I found, videographer, and we're going to try to make it happen. We'll try to make it happen. So fingers crossed. Make sure you guys get my website, go donate. And you know, if you make the money, we can make the art. You know, being a full-time creative is hard. I don't think people understand what it's like when you're really taking a bet on yourself. There are a lot of sacrifices that come with it, and it's extremely uncomfortable. Extremely uncomfortable, but you know, I'm determined to get where I'm going. Come hell or high water, I'm going to get where I'm going. So, you know, hopefully I have dolls out there who believe in me and will help me get there. So make sure you guys donate.
Period. Gotta send that in there.
But speaking of donations, I hear that there's another blogger out there that may be needing some donations.
Okay. We talk about Tasha K. Well, we talked about her a couple episodes ago. Well, if you didn't already know, she lost the case with Cardi B. She lost big time. I mean, $3 million. Because the first it was 1.25 million, and then like they tacked on more payments and stuff like that, so it went up to like about 3 million. But she promised to fight her 3 million court loss with Cardi B this week. In a statement Wednesday, she railed against the machine and corporate interests while gassing up her own media company. Okay, now she got on this 12-minute video. And she basically said, this is in quotes, these last 4 years fighting this conspiracy case have been extremely challenging. The verdict handed down on Monday was no shock to myself, my husband, and my legal team. We called bluff against a machine that wanted to bully me for not wavering my personal beliefs, a machine that was corporate interests to protect prostitution, drugs, and glorify the violence that wreaks havoc in our society and our neighborhood. She got real Candace Owens right there.
Right.
Not the what? What is this?
Um,
I mean, later in that video, she also talked about how she does not regret anything she said, and would do it again if if she had to go another go around. Um, you know, I'm gonna just say some word. It's given a lack of accountability. I know I use that a lot, but that's kind of the case here because it's like all that you said in that video sounds good on paper, but when we get into the meat and potatoes of what you actually said, not only was the whole herpes thing a thing, because someone had to, one of my mutuals on YouTube had to tell me, he's like, no, people is so fixated on the herpes thing. You were talking about her family. You was talking about her dad. You were saying that he was a alleged R word. Okay, that's I mean, it's proven that if it's not true, that's defamation. That is the definition of a defamation. And the fact that case, like a defamation case, is hard to prove. First of all, I never knew that, but like the fact that you lost is. What do you think, Derek? Because I think I'm spiraling.
I think that, like I said, this case could set precedent for how bloggers do their business. And I think that it is a lesson in how you cover yourself. Cover is having your receipts, having your sources, and I think that there were some things that she said. There were some things that she said in her statement that I do kind of agree with. Not the Candace Owens side. Everybody has freedom of speech. I think that's, for any journalist who gets caught up in a defamation lawsuit, that's the first thing you can depend on, is that I have a right to say whatever I want to say. And, that's true to an extent. Like you can't say something that is literally demoralizing of someone's character, especially if you cannot prove it with fact. And I think that one of the real hinges on this case was the fact that you attack someone's health status, which is an invasion of privacy, courtesy of like HIPAA laws. Like you violated a law disclosing someone's health status, and then you were wrong. For that part, you lost. Everything else, I don't care what you say about anything else. Your opinion of me and all that stuff. You spoke on my health, which is a private issue. You were wrong. And even if you did have access to that information and you were right, you would still lose, right? Because it's a violation of federal law for you to disclose anyone's health.
Invasion of
privacy. It could have been anything. It could have been diabetes. It could have been HIV. It could have been, she had a common cold. Doesn't matter. You are not allowed to disclose anything about someone else's health.
But see, she's used to doing that because she did it with Bobby Lights. She said Bobby Lights had dirty blood. We all know what that means, and that has some real undertones. We'll get into.
I'm surprised that he didn't. I'm surprised that he didn't sue her for that.
It's and to see that there's a video that, like, I didn't even see the video, but like basically the video that lost her the case of you saying, yeah, I did that shit. Yeah, I lied. I did that despite you.
That's the video she used. I mean,
that's the video they used. Like it was. I mean, they got her.
She told on herself.
Somebody wasn't going to screenshot, screen record, and come on now. We got receipts of you saying that you lied. So this is far beyond like, oh, they're not letting me tell my story as the news, as a journalist, the freedom of speech. No, don't play those cards, because they was playing all these type of cards, talking about, oh well, these corporate giants is coming for this one person, this, that, and the third. Let me tell you something about Tasha K. Tasha K is not. She ain't rich like Cardi or anything like that, but like, come on now. Tasha K is not a regular person. She is a influencer. She has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, 100,000 views on a YouTube video. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, regardless of how much money she has, I think this, like I said, this case will set precedent on how bloggers, celebrity bloggers, do their reporting. And, I won't say tiptoe, but even in her video, she was named up. She's like, media outlets, name check me. They use me as a source, right? But even still, like, yes, they may, but you were wrong. What you did was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day,
It's like, how do you not like?
yeah.
Well, I think it's like, are you gonna fight for it? Are you gonna fight it? You're gonna appeal
But she
it?
said
Like,
she's gonna fight. They said they're prepared to fight in the appeal. And good luck, girl. But
not good luck, girl.
what I'm waiting to see is how the platforms are going to respond to this case, because it very well could be easily said that, okay, well, spaces like YouTube or even our podcasts, streaming apps, create platforms for people to spread misinformation or defamation against these public figures, and one of the penalties could very well be her getting kicked off our platform.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? There was a case earlier this week. I think Neil Young was trying to get Joe Rogan kicked off Spotify for spreading misinformation about COVID or the election or things like that. But these corporations, these platforms make a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And YouTube and Vivo, like, they house these artists like Cardi B, and they make their money off of them too. So it's like, listen, if we got to trade a commentator who has like 100,000 views per video or has 1 million followers versus a mainstream artist who's pulling in 300 million views in a week for one music video, or has almost nearly 1 billion followers, like, we're going to choose the person that's making us more of the money. Right? So, like I said, it sets a precedent on how we do our reporting, making sure that we are being as ethical as possible when reporting on these celebrities, while also protecting ourselves from misinformation and not being spiteful, right? Like, as a journalist, it shouldn't be to harm. Like, you don't have to harm them. If you share news, you just share the news. This is what I heard based on the source that I have, and this is alleged.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we're just talking about it. We're gonna have a conversation. What is the nuance of this conversation, as opposed to attacking the individual that it's about? Let's talk about this subject, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she would have been better off doing it that way, as opposed to trying to be, trying to create some type of punitive space for Cardi B, or even if her platform is saying, the industry's glorifying drug use and prostitution and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if you're saying that about Cardi B, then what are you saying about the City Girls, whose every song is talking about scamming people? You know what I mean?
It turned into some kind of conservative type speech, like girl was talking about, oh yeah, well, you condoning this and the kids and this, that, and so I'm like, what?
I'm like, but you listen to the music.
And the stuff
If you didn't listen to the music,
in the way your mouth is set up, you ain't for kids either.
Whoop. Child.
So sis, what do you do? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You're trying to find any type of scapegoat that you can, and the most recent one was the whole thing of, oh, she's black women. I'm like, look, let me tell you something. Stuff like that is real. You get what I'm saying when it comes to microaggressions with black women and stuff like that, and Latin. But that was not the case here.
Yeah, but I'm not saying she was wrong with what she did. I will not say that she was wrong how she feels. I think that the industry does. There are some negative stereotypes that are profitable, that we continue to portray because it sells. Sex sells, right? Mm-hmm. And there's this thing where you have female artists who are about empowerment and want to. There are two sides of feminism where it's like, okay, well, I can be a strong woman without having to showcase my body, or I can express my femininity in a different way, about being a boss, or being a good mother, or being a dedicated wife, and showing my femininity in that way. While there are other women who are saying, yeah, I can do all those things, and I can feel sexy, and I can take ownership of my sexuality, and I can talk about, using these men the way they use us. So there are different ways to share that message. I think it was a misstep for her to go on this whole thing about, stereotypes in our society and blah, blah, blah. Okay, girl, they're always going to be here. Sex is the oldest, and sex work is the oldest profession in human existence. Once bitches found out that niggas were willing to give up their house, family, cars, caves, legs for some hoochie, honey, that's a job. All right. So that's a losing battle. People gonna do what they want to do with their sexuality, and y'all kids gonna grow up to have sex. Otherwise, we're not gonna have any more humans. So get over it. but she was wrong for what she did. The courts felt that she was wrong, and it's going to be an uphill battle for her in the appellate courts to appeal this decision. Not sure how much she's going to actually have to pay in this settlement if she's going to settle the case. But it was a major win for Cardi B. It was a major win for artists who don't want to be defamed by blogs. And it's definitely going to be a lesson for those of us who are in the celebrity news space on how we cover these celebrities, what we say, and the motive behind what we're sharing and reporting.
And get that Associate Press style book. Okay, let me tell you something. That's the first thing I got when I took one of my first journalism classes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you get that style book, you read that thing. Okay, you don't got to read everything. Anything that you have a question with, you look it up. It's like a dictionary almost.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the stuff could have been alleviated with that. Now, people get these microphones. I've been saying this. People get these microphones, these cameras, these fancy shows, and they say anything, and they think they can say anything because public figures. We can talk about celebrities like they're public figures or whatever. But like, no, it's with consequence. Okay,
yeah.
We will see what happens. Okay,
it's gonna be interesting.
Right,
it's definitely gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, you know what else is interesting? Well, it's not interesting.
What?
It's actually pretty messy.
Ooh, this Kanye West mess.
The Kanye West drama.
Oh Lord, did he move across the street from that lady yet?
Huh?
Did he move across the street from that lady yet?
I think he did. I think he's still there.
Wow.
Well,
so
things are getting
on in the world with the West.
Kanye West makes headlines for the wrong reason yet again. He chose to sit down with Jason Lee, with Hollywood Unlocked Jason Lee, to talk about a couple of things. Talk about the situation that he has with himself and Kim. He seemingly confirmed that there's a second sex tape with Ray J.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he claims his ex banned his Kim banned him from his daughter Chicago's birthday party. And he's essentially unhappy with North having a social media presence or being on social media at all.
Because the little girl she's running TikTok.
You said she's running. I mean, how old is she?
She's like, how old is Blue? 8. So she might be 8.
Okay, well, I mean, 8. Yeah, I mean,
7.
That's something that you
9.
Talk to me about. As I'm a parent too.
Right.
Yeah, and he's he's beefing with Pete Davidson, and this is alleged. And DJ Academic said it, so sue him. Because look, I'm on Ted every time. Says that he been telling people Kanye been going around telling people that Pete Davidson got AIDS or something. I'm like, now this is alleged. DJ Academic said this on his show. Go on his show. But yeah, he was making this him in songs and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not too far fetched. But Kanye West is really going through it. To me, it's giving bitter baby father. But you know what? Some of the stuff that he's complaining about is kind of valid. That whole sex tape thing, I'm like, what did you even bring that up for? What was the reason?
What was the reason?
What was the reason other than to put her down? Because the way he was coming off on that video on the interview was like, people don't look at you as you think they are. They use you and stuff like that. I'm like, what are you trying to say? Like hold the gaslighting. Now the stuff that I'm with him with on his side with is the social media. I mean, that's something that you need to conversate with both parents that had this conversation about the daughter going on social media.
Yeah.
If she is 9 or 8, like we got to confirm that. That is a little weird, I got on my phone, child, when I was 15. Okay. Well, no, I had a phone. I just didn't have access to the social media apps until I was 15. But yeah, it's kind of weird.
North is 8.
Yeah, that's a little too young for some social media. Especially when people are talking about their
parents.
Yeah. And yeah. But Kim Kardashian, she's a free spirit. Now, the whole thing about the birthday party, if she really did held that information and would not tell Kanye where the party was or where, they were doing this, I mean, that is kind of messy. I mean, let me tell you something. Parents do some grimy shit to each other when they're not together.
Right.
Like
It gets
it's
nasty. Divorce is nasty.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wanted to get your thoughts on it though, because I, you know.
So as far as like North being on social media and Kanye being concerned, I think that I'm more concerned about Kanye being on social media than North. North is more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I went down a rabbit hole watching her videos after the story broke that she was going through the house doing a tour before a birthday party, showing people what their house looked like, and Kim didn't know she was online. But you know, she has really good content. So I mean,
Oh, she does. Oh, okay.
yeah. So but Kim is supposed to run that account, but I think North kind of she has that freedom to create. And I think that's what happens when you have two creative parents, or you have a creative parent and a Kardashian machine behind you. She can kind of do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So in any case, you know, when it comes to co-parenting, especially post separation, I think that both parents should be involved. And I think we touched on this in one of our other episodes. We were talking about Portia and Dennis, that there are certain decisions that have to be made by both parents. And when one parent feels that they're being cut out of the decision making process, then it gets extremely messy. And you know, it'll come down to the courts about, you know, if he decides that he wants legally to pursue action to have joint custody and legally have standing to make certain decisions for his children. You know, we'll see if it comes to that. But right now, I just think that, like you said, it's kind of messy. The way he's going about it is kind of very toxic baby daddy. And, you know, like I said, give him the Kenya Moore treatment. We just want to see you in therapy, Kanye. That's it. We just want to see you in therapy. That's
Okay,
it.
come on. I think he needs some type of healing. The fact that he got on Hollywood Unlocked. I mean, look. Jason Lee, he doing his job. But it's, you know, to get on that show, you know, like y'all know him. Y'all know he was going to ask the question. It was going to be messy. So it's like, I don't know. I think Kanye is actively just trying to like hurt Kim. But see, Kim, apparently allegedly is unfazed by this, honey. She was posting pictures and just was like, you know, posting, you know, completely ignoring the situation, right?
Yeah, Kim don't care.
Yeah, Kim don't care. She's at the point where it's just like, you know what, I'm tired. I'm tired of caring about this man. Pete, come on, let's go.
Right.
Ray J makes a statement though. He said, "This needs to stop. I have kids." Yeah. What are you doing with a old second version of a sex tape with your soon to be ex-wife and I don't know, colleague in
And
the
he
industry?
can't release it anyway, because if he releases it or if it leaks, then him even speaking on it publicly before it's hit the web or whatever, one, it's only going to make her more money. And then two, she can sue him. I think in California, revenge porn is punishable by law. So she can sue his ass. So it's just like, Kanye,
That's
just
what I'm
be
saying. Like,
quiet.
what do you mean by having it? Like, are you trying to
Like, are you bribing me? Are you blackmailing me?
not an extortion?
Like, you're literally trying to blackmail me. So, like I said, Kanye gets the Kenya Moore treatment from me from now on. I just want to see you in therapy.
Now,
Therapy,
Kenya.
please. Therapy,
Okay.
please.
Yeah. You know who I'm giving the Kenya Moore treatment to? I don't know, because Chris Brown.
Oh God.
Child, this is some news that done came out the other day. So Chris Brown allegedly is being sued by a woman who claims that he R''ed her on a yacht parked at Diddy's Star Island home. Now, this is according to a new $20 million lawsuit. Singer's being sued by Jane Doe, who says she was a professional choreographer, dancer, model, and musical artist, and she claims that Chris went from being friendly to her,
But sexually assaulting her.
Sexually assaulting her. Because you know, YouTube, you know, I don't know about certain words you can't say. And according to the suit obtained by TMZ, the woman claims that Chris grabbed the phone of a friend that FaceTimed her, that urged her to come over to Diddy's house, and you know, at his Miami Star Island, and things went from there. Now, I don't know. I mean, I think this is starting to be like a yearly thing. You know, a lot of his fans that came out and was like, "Oh, well, they do this every year. They're obviously lying because the last case that happened, like he actually won." So what are y'all talking about? I just want to put this into perspective. Like when this stuff was happening to R. Kelly at first, like he was winning cases too in Tennessee. So I wouldn't be so like, oh yeah, he lying, or they lying. I don't know, child. This
Child, at this point, between Chris Brown and Trey Songz and R. Kelly, I'm like, what does the R stand for in R&B anymore? Like, my goodness gracious. And, you know, it's unfortunate. I may not be the biggest Chris Brown fan, but I do think that it is unfortunate that, you know, God, it must be exhausting to really be trying to focus on, you know, your music and your career, and your personal life always gets in the way, right? We're not talking about his new single. We're not talking about him trying to do a virtual tour, do a tour or residency or anything like that. You're making headlines for assaulting a person that's in your core fan group. And I think that hits you the hardest because I thought about the same thing when it was the R. Kelly thing. Like, as a woman, how do you support someone who's accused of these things, right? These monstrous things towards women? How do you appreciate their music the same way? And I know people who love Chris Brown down, you know, who make babies to his music. But it's like, okay, well, if this is the type of person he is, or these are the things that he's doing to people in this core demographic, how do you appreciate their music the same? It's the same way I feel about artists like Lil Boosie. And I'm from Louisiana. You know, we're Louisianimals and all that kind of stuff and supporting him. But when he started going on this homophobic and transphobic rant, it's like, I can't appreciate your music the same.
Yeah.
Knowing that personally, this is how you openly speak towards my community, regardless of, I have gay people working on my staff and I'm cool with them, blah, blah, blah. It's not for everybody. It's just this one person. I'm like, well, you're targeting people that you don't even know personally, and you're making blanket statements that will affect the entire community, regardless if that person next to you turns a blind eye because they know you and they're on your payroll, right? So with this whole Chris Brown situation, I'm like, listen, we'll hear what the lady has to say. When it comes to these allegations, I feel like you're innocent until proven guilty. That's how the system is designed. So yes, people can come out, you know, they always like, I believe her. It's like, you don't know this woman from a can of paint. You don't know what people's motives are. If this is the allegation, file a police report, take it to court, let there be, you know, a discovery, bring your evidence, and then try your case in court. And then we'll see what the judge and the jury decides.
Yeah.
And that will henceforth, you know, lead us to the truth as to what the reality is, even though sometimes reality don't reflect actual truth, but that will be the reality. If he's convicted as an R, then that will be the reality from here on out. But for now, it's just an allegation. You know, Chris has enough money to fight these type of things, so we'll just have to see how this story develops, and you know, and what comes of it.
Yeah, and I think that it's very. I think when it comes to like Chris Brown, I get it. Like these celebrities are doing like a lot of things, and they are essentially like you know, they're playboys. Like they you know, they go off and they have sex and do all these things with all these people. You gotta be careful you have around your circle. If that is a woman if that woman is lying, and I'm not implying that. I'm just saying you gotta be careful of your surroundings.
Recording. I'm live.
Yeah. But yeah. Right. But yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see what happens with it. The facts will come out.
Right. Okay, so we'll get into the subtopics now. One other topic that I wanted to talk about was Wendy Williams. You know, every time this is a new topic when it comes to I'm like, I feel so bad because I just be wanting her to, like, you know, be better. But
hashtag poor Wendy.
Not hashtag poor Wendy. But child, she is cleaning house allegedly. She is the television personality is coming back. Is not coming back until March, but people assume that she's probably not going to be coming back at that time either because she's still unable to walk. You know, people have to walk her places, people have to feed her, people have to clothe her and stuff like that. So she's not I'm sure she's not gonna be ready by March. Like that's a little bit too, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's weird. But anyway, allegedly, sources say that Wendy Williams is essentially trying to clean house. Like she's telling people, I'm not coming back until we get a whole new staff. She feels, and the person that's reporting is saying that she feels she's delusional and thinks that people are telling stories about her or outing her with certain things.
So she's
I mean,
basically paranoid.
yeah, a little bit paranoia, but it's like, I kind of understand it because there is a lot of stories that's coming out about Wendy now. There's kind of weird, bizarre stories that only people that are around her, work for her, would probably know. So I would be a little paranoid too.
Yeah. Well, I think according to that story, they said they're also trying to hold her hostage by saying she'll only return if everyone is fired. So is that true, or did she say that?
I think she said that. Yeah,
rumor?
she's saying that. She's trying to hold people hostage by saying that I will not return unless everybody's fired. So it's getting messy.
Who's gonna do the show?
I mean, she's probably going to rehire other people. I'm like, hey, I mean, look, my resume.
I can totally.
I could be a part of your hot topic
How
team.
did Darren end up working at the Wendy Williams show? Look at dreams do come true.
Dreams do come true. Okay, I'll be like, Wendy, I'm gonna get your topics together. Your topics is gonna be a whole lot relevant.
Child, I can imagine you be the one rolling her ass out there.
It's
Wendy. It's rolling Wendy. Oh my god.
I cannot. Oh my god, I cannot believe we just did. It's Wendy.
Allegedly,
child. I'm gonna have to get an allegedly button or something. Okay,
right.
Yeah. So that's happened. I'm like, oh my god.
It'll be a sight to see. We'll see if she comes back or not. I just don't think that Wendy's. But it won't be the same. Like I don't want to. I think that she had her run. I think everybody has. What am I going to say? Everybody has their time under the sun. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the sun goes down. So I think that for Wendy Williams, the sun is going down, and we just gotta look towards a new, brighter star and support them and get our mess from elsewhere. It won't be Tasha K, but we'll get our mess from somewhere.
Yeah, she definitely ruined that, child.
We'll get our mess from somewhere else.
Right. Maybe here. Oops.
Right. You can slide in over here.
Okay, look. Get your mess from, Darren Green. Okay, with the wine. Yes.
Yeah, I'm still a wino.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I respect the winos. Some of the winos have followed me that one time because I reposted the initial post when she had Cardi, that video of her saying that I used to drug men and rob them.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm like, you was right with that, but like,
play that in the court. Like, did you hear what this woman said she used to do? Why she not in jail?
Okay, this woman, she probably did though.
Child, I'm like, not Cardi admitted to being
a child, not Bill Cosby anyway.
Right.
Okay.
That is kind of interesting because there's no way that a male rapper could say that on Instagram Live, saying they used to drug women and then steal their purses. You're not gonna say on Instagram Live and not get prosecuted by somebody. There's no way. But I mean, it also goes to show that men don't report those type of things. You just take that and be like, damn, they got me. Like,
yeah, what you gonna do?
Oh, me, you going to jail. Period. Straight to jail. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. You are going to
jail. Not collect $200.
Okay. Straight to jail.
Right. Okay, so here's the thing. Music.
Yeah.
Nicki.
Coming. Yes. Do we have a problem? We got a problem?
Do we got a problem? Do we? Well, Nicki Minaj released a picture of her and Lil Baby, and they shared, well, seemingly because it wasn't really we don't even know what this song is called. Like, she's just saying stuff, but we're entitled to believe that the song that she's doing with Lil Baby is called "Do We Got a Problem?"
Right.
And she's doing an interview with James Corden. That is confirmed. Nicki normally doesn't do this when she's just collabing with somebody on a song. So either this is her song or a single, or she's promoting that docuseries. And I hope we get a date if that is the docuseries.
Right. I don't know if this is her. I mean, Nicki is good for a good feature or a good collaboration. I really don't think we're gonna get a single or a solo single from her.
Was it said that it's Lil Baby song?
Yeah, it said it was Lil Baby's song that she was gonna be
okay.
rapping with him. So I think this is one of his songs that she's featured on. But I mean, or it'll be like it'll be the Tekashi 6ix9ine situation where it's not just a feature, like it's their song together. And as far as the documentary, child, we probably gonna get that documentary until.
I mean, but why what does she have to talk about on the James Corden show though? Like,
I mean, we've been waiting. We've been waiting on NM5, waiting on this documentary. So hopefully she'll shed some light. Because at this point, I think her and Rihanna and Beyonce, I think they all have like a Zoom call and just like, we're going to troll our fans for another 3 years. You know what I mean? Like,
and then 3 more after that.
And 3 more after that. Like, you promised your fans an album, and then I'm going to drop panties. And then I'm gonna promise my fans an album. I'm going to drop a documentary on Netflix. And like, you
not panties.
Promise your fans an album, and then you go have a baby. Like,
child, not that time when Rihanna took that damn picture of her like this to a microphone. I'm like, now your ass had better been recording some mutant now.
Now, I know that we talking about Nicki Minaj, but you know that did happen on Instagram this week that there were pictures floating of her leaving a studio in Brooklyn.
Who?
Rihanna. And she also posts on her stories behind the scenes, you know, of her possibly recording something. I mean, for all we know, that bitch was recording an ad for Savage Fenty, but she was in a studio doing something with A$AP Rocky. I don't know if she's probably gonna be in the chorus of one of his songs or, you know, whatever. But she did have pictures of her leaving the studio, and she did do some Instagram or some Snapchat video of her in the studio. So, you know, we may get something from R&B this year. Speaking of the B in R&B, somebody noticed and tweeted on Twitter the other day that Beyonce didn't give us Halloween pictures last year. She didn't give us Christmas pictures or New Year's pictures. I'm like, oh, this bitch really did dip on us. So usually when Beyonce gets quiet, that means something is coming. And it's just gonna come like a thief in the middle of the night. Like, we're gonna wake up and it's gonna be like B-Day all over again. There's gonna be a new line of clothes, an album, tour announcement, a documentary, a Beehive theme park.
And somebody said this new project is gonna be like colorful. So it's like somebody in the industry.
Colorful.
Like, I'm like,
colorful?
Like colorful. It's gonna be like colorful or something. I don't know. It's not gonna be what she's been doing, which was, you know, going back to coming to America. Not coming to America, but like, you know,
not coming to America. Help us
find a way back. But no, she's gonna be doing like, you know, I think she's gonna give us, yeah, like you said, B-Day, like maybe Beyonce. Oh my God, when that rollout,
bitch, wasn't no rollout. It was, it's here.
That's what I missed.
By the way,
that's what I want.
Beyonce dropped the album while you were sleeping. It's now number 1.
Okay,
get into it.
Yo, oh my goodness. Well, since we're on the realm of music, and we were talking about Nicki, Doja Cat's Get Into It Yeah video is supposed to be coming back. Or not coming back. It's supposed to be, the video is supposed to come out soon.
Oh, snap. Get Into It Yeah for real. Okay.
Huh?
So the video is coming out, you say?
Yes. Did you see the clip?
I did not see the clip. The trailer?
It's out. Well, yeah, the trailer.
I'm about to watch it now.
It's out of this world.
I got it pulled up on my Macintosh.
Not on the Macintosh.
I know that she posted on Instagram today that the choreography video for Woman is out, but I did not see the Get Into It Yeah trailer.
It is.
What is it giving?
Like 5 seconds.
It's 14 seconds.
14 seconds. Oh wow! Now I said 5 seconds.
I'm gonna have to get into it, yeah, when we get off.
No, for real. Like, it looks futuristic. I'm telling you, Doja Cat is gonna save music.
Well, you know, her whole album is very Planet Her, so it's all that the theme is like out of space, kind of like futuristic vibe.
It's giving what Chromatica should. Ooh, let me stop. Anyway, I'm sorry, Gaga, but you gave us some acting. You gave us some roles, but damn. You done left Chromatica.
Not as given what Chromatica should have gave, and instead of giving us Industry Bar in New York on a Friday night where all the white gays pumped up. Help us. Darren said it, not me.
Now, she dropped the whole project and dipped. Okay, she said, "I'm going to go acting. So y'all good. All right, bye."
feed the children. That's what she was doing.
That's what I'm
Feed the
saying.
children.
All these older artists that came out in my time, they doing their own thing. They're like, look, y'all not my priority no more. Okay,
They're trying to secure all the bags.
Mm-hmm. She over here trying to get an Oscar, honey. You seen her in well, I didn't see the movie yet, but
I haven't. But there's a lot of buzz about her in House of Gucci. About how well she did it. They also rumored, they said that even after production was over, she was still struggling to break away from the accent she was using. I was like, Lord, don't your ass fall into that hole like that man did from the Joker. What was it? What's
Heath
his
Ledger,
name?
child.
Right, Heath Ledger couldn't shake the darkness from that role. He ended up killing himself. So, like Gaga, don't you go to get jail for killing nobody? Letting this character play in your head after they said cut. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Okay, you are back to Gaga.
Right.
I knew she's that kind of actor because like she was like that with A Star Is Born. I watched a lot of her interviews and she was talking about like, oh my goodness, I had to bleach my hair blonde again because I was just feeling like I was Allie, and I'm like, Gaga.
It can be like that if you're immersive. If you're an immersive method actor, that's just like when Jamie Foxx was blind for like 6 weeks before shooting Ray. Like he literally had them give him prosthetics to where he couldn't see for about 6 weeks to get in the feel of what it must be like, to be in the world in darkness. And I was like, that just sounds scary to me. Like there's no way that I would willingly want to just walk around this motherfucker blind on purpose.
Yeah.
But it'd be like that. That's good. Like, he got his Oscar that way. So whatever sells the story, sell the story. There could be 100 people in the room and 99 of them can say no. All you need is one Gaga.
Okay. Period.
But speaking of things going crazy, so I'm hearing in the ethos that one of my favorite Barbs has unfollowed the Queen Barb and one of the other leaders of the pack. So Meg unfollowed Nicki and Doja.
Barb? You saying Barb? Like what Barb?
Y'all know Meg was a Barb. Stop doing it. She is or was.
Well, anyway,
what's going on?
Friend, you have chosen not to see what I've been seeing.
What did you see?
Man, I've been seeing this. Okay, so Meg Thee Stallion unfollows Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj.
Is she gonna drop a diss record?
Well, this could save hip hop. Let me stop. I don't implore that, but it's definitely looking like Megan is kind of not feeling the queen of rap right now, or something. I suspect something is really going on behind closed doors, because we see it in the music. Like when we see like some of the verses that Nicki was coming out and some of the verses that couple verses that Meg was coming out with. I mean, you could just put two and two together and okay, yeah, maybe some Barbs are delusional or just making some stuff up, but like, no, it do be looking like they be dissing each other. Like even when Nicki was on live talking about how, when you do a collab with somebody, you build a rapport with somebody and this, that, and this. She damn sure wasn't talking about Doja, because Doja was oh my God, I'm so happy to be here. So
Doja Cat said Nicki Minaj could run me over with a truck, and I would say thank you.
Okay, so I mean the common denominator. It's giving. Okay, so this will be a shake in the fandom. I mean the hotties. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to start war, but the hotties and the Barbs.
But that would be unfortunate if this happened to us again, right? Where you have this newer female artist who comes out and says they're for Nicki or blah blah blah, and then we end up finding out that they just use the fan base to like boost them for their support, and then they flip and switch, like they bait and switch us, because it's happened before. And she told us that it happens. But my thing is like, well, if we're falling for the bait, that means you're falling for the bait too. But Nicki's a master manipulator. She's a Sagittarius, so she knows exactly what she's doing, and she be laying these traps for these girls because their true colors always show up. And I think that the light went off for us when Meg did when she did the song with Cardi, right? And then she went on an interview, and even later in one of her songs said, "Another bitch's beef don't make me fight," right? So it's like, listen, that's their business. That has nothing to do with me. I'm here to make good music and be about the business of music. And I think that's a very smart position to be in. Like, If y'all beefing, that has nothing to do with my bag. That has nothing to do with me. Yes, I'm still a fan of yours, and yes, I think that you're beautiful and talented, and I wouldn't mind working with you. But don't put me in the middle. I'm not
Yeah.
toxic either. Like, I'm a fan of both of you. Let me be a fan. Let me, create art with you, and let that be the
People
thing.
think
But I
that
think,
I don't think Nicki felt a way about Megan doing WAP. I think Barb's did.
right, because it's like, oh, you're messing with the opposition. Like, we've literally been battling this lady for 2 years, and their fan base about, the truth being out. And now you're over there. You say you were a Barb, and now you over here working with this lady. Now on the up and
Meg
up,
never
it's
said
like,
she was a
listen, go
Barb
make
though.
your money.
Meg never said she was a
pissed.
Barb. She said she's a fan of Nicki. Being a fan and a stan is two different things.
Well, that's true. I would say that Doja's a Barb. Doja's a stan.
Yes.
But Megan hasn't ever disrespected Nicki publicly. She's always given Nicki her praises and her props. She talks about, she's a UGK girl. Like, she was raised in Houston. And so the artists that she was most influenced by were Underground Kings and Houston music. But she said growing up, like, the female artist, the only female rapper she could really look to that was doing it was Nicki Minaj. Like, and that was just a fact. She's been on interviews saying that, like, it was Nicki Minaj. There was a female rapper I wanted to be like.
But I can do that.
There was an artist that I wanted to work with. It'd be Beyonce.
Yeah, and I can do all that, but and still work with Cardi, and should be able to still work with Cardi.
And she has, and she had a #1 single with it.
Like I said, I don't think that Nicki felt a way about that. Maybe she could have felt a way about her response to people being upset to her, because sometimes Nicki tends to do that. It's like when people kind of combat the Barbs. That's what happened with Cash Doll and her shit.
Yeah, like, just don't come from my babe. Yeah.
I think that's where it came from. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing with the live saying you build a rapport with somebody. Okay, maybe Meg Thee Stallion did a song. She did a song with Nicki, and sometimes Nicki doesn't want to feel used too, right? Like, so it's like, I want to have that relationship. I want to still have that relationship with you after the song, after we work together. It's like, damn.
I mean, but Nicki is like an industry gatekeeper when it comes to rap at this point. It's like, listen, if you're able to secure and afford a Nicki Minaj feature, then there's some legitimacy added to your career. It's like, you have a song, you're going to chart, we're going to hit Billboard. So, it can be one of those moments that elevates your career to the next level. Same way as if you land a verse or a feature with Beyonce, same thing, and Meg was able to do both within a matter of a year.
And he was collecting Infinity Stones, like,
right, she was collecting the Infinity Stones of the industry, and I think that it's a sight to see what becomes of these relationships and these collaborations, and if the support is returned. Like, I think that's where Nicki's thing is like, okay, well, I'm you want a verse? I'll give you a verse. I'll promote, blah blah blah. However, I have a project coming up. I want you to be on my project, or I have this single coming out. She's literally watching. She knows which of these rappers that she's worked with, when her stuff comes out, when they're radio silent. You know what I mean? And she's spoken about that too. It's like, listen, when it was time for your debut to come out, you wanted a feature with the Queen. When the Queen's dropping something, you quiet.
And why wasn't this Hot Girl Summer on? Anyway,
on what? On Fever?
No, not on Fever. On Good News. That was around the same time.
No, Hot Girl Summer came out on Fever.
No, it did not.
Or before that. Good News was the album.
Fever was before we met, Derek.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yes, it was. I remember doing a story on them. It was before you came on the show. It was way before.
Hot Girl Summer came out in 2019.
2019. Okay, that was.
They came out in August, right? And it was released on Fever.
Hold on, let me see that. Hold on, because no, wait.
Because I think before that was Tina Snow. And Tina Snow came out in 2018, 2017. If my music history is correct. Now, don't quote me, but allegedly, Hot Girl Summer was on Fever.
Hot Girl Summer was not. Hot Girl Summer was his own single. That came out May 17, 2019. Hot Girl Summer though, that was, let me see.
Hot Girl Summer was released August 9th, 2019.
Okay, well,
And
all right.
debuted at number 11 on Billboard.
And Good News came out that following year, 2020. Yeah, because that was a pandemic album.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, okay, so a year later, whatever. I mean, it was.
Yeah, Good News
that
came
song
out.
was
Good
around
News
the
came
break.
out in November of 2020. So yeah, a whole year later.
I mean, still, but
So the song was on her album or mixtape, or however they were calling it at the time.
Yeah, I think it's weird that this has happened, but you know, it's this is what happens. This is the
We
business.
don't know anything. Like we're projecting, but it very well could mean that they're about to do a song together and we just don't know it. You know how they, throwing the people off like, damn, they beefing, and then next thing you know, they got a video with them all together, and we're like, oh my god, it's Ladies' Night all over again. They may group and gag us. So I'm gonna err on the side of optimism here and hoping that it's all good in the hood.
I'm always negative Nancy. Let me say.
I'm gonna hope that it's all good in the hood.
Right.
But whatever it is, we always want to see the girls. All the girls are gonna win. I mean, like the girls are winning, and I think that they're actually carrying hip hop at this point because we don't really care when these niggas drop music anymore. We don't like because it's all the same. It's all drugs, sex, cars. Drugs, sex, cars, and money. That's all y'all can talk about. Nobody's talking about anything else. Drugs, sex, cars, and money. And y'all don't even look good when y'all talking about it. Y'all all wearing the same stuff. So the girls are keeping us entertained when it comes to hip hop. So,
well, speaking of music, and this will go into our last topic. There was a study that was put out that older music is kind of like really combating like what's coming out now, and they did this study. I think it was like through 2019 to 2020. A lot of people are just listening to older music. And that can mean anything. Like when I say older music, I'm not talking about like Marvin Gaye or some shit like that. I'm talking about like music that's before the time frame that I just told you. So it's like, what's the problem? I mean, we talked about this last episode, but like,
I think that people are rediscovering old music because they actually want stories and melody. Now all the music sounds the same. It's all beep boop, beepity boop, TikTok music. You know what I mean?
Not beep beep.
But there's always a new song coming out that unseats the last one that came out last week. So there's no lasting memories to the music. There's no real. People aren't really creating moments with music anymore. And I think that when you listen to older music, like you listen to that early 2000s music, you listen to that 90s music, there are memories attached to them. Right? There are feelings and moments that you remember. Hell, there are certain songs that come on. I remember what my house smelled like when my mom would play Tony Braxton and Mary J. Blige while she was cleaning up on Saturdays. You know what I mean? Like you have that type of sense memory, right? Now the music is moving and changing so fast, or there's a new song that comes out and it's good for like 3 days. And then there's another song that comes out. You got to learn to dance. And then there's another song that comes out on Instagram. Everything is so fast paced that there aren't any real memories tied to these songs anymore. Right. So it doesn't sit long. It doesn't linger. It doesn't create as much impact outside of being a pop moment or being a microwave moment, which is why I think people are going back and rediscovering older music. And also the way that a lot of these artists are making music now, they're sampling music that we actually love from the 90s and the 80s and the 2000s and the teens. And so it's like, let me go back and hear the original song again. You know what I mean? Let me go back and feel this again. Yeah. And we actually like it because there was a story and there was choreography. There was something to it. And I think it's the substance that's lacking.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate that what's going on with that. Music is just, it needs to get, I don't know what's going to change. I mean, I did say Doja Cat is going to save music. I believe that, mark my words, because I feel like she tries to do something different. She tries to do something. You know, everyone. One of our mutuals on TikTok was talking about it. I said everyone is sticking to their formula, the formula that's working, and they stick by it. No one wants to take chances. It's like I don't know.
Because now it's so risky. You fought like you pull a Joanne, and you may lose your fan base because that's not what we know you for, and that's not what we like. I understand you're experimenting, but we don't like the results of this experiment, and so we're gonna go find someone else who can master what you've done already, and we'll just follow them. It happens. It happens. And I look at Doja too, and I'm like, yeah, she's talented, but this is Lisa Left Eye Lopez and Nicki Minaj, and like, no, because remember, Left Eye was into the futuristic. That was her aesthetic, right? Before she died, that's where she was going. The Missy Elliott, over the top music videos, very imaginative, creative, into the, into color, choreo. So it's like, we've seen this before. Kind of like what I said last week about Tenny Shoe doing an Aaliyah video. Like, we've seen this before, and we like it. Right? So Doja is giving us what we like. She's adding her own personality to it. She's a great writer. She's making music that sticks in your brain, and she's doing it right. She's appealing to us in a way that we are familiar with, but also leading us into a direction in her music journey that we can appreciate. A lot of these other artists just don't have that.
Yeah.
They got the backing from their labels, but they don't have I don't think a lot of them are lacking imagination. I don't think a lot of these other artists that out here are as creative as they are being branded to be. They're a product. What works? Let's get somebody that gives that.
So what is the future for music at this point? Because when it gets to the point where it's like,
the future of music is synchronized sound with no person.
Not synchronized sound with no person.
The future of music is EDM.
EDM was a thing. It already happened. It's gone.
It ain't gone.
That's early 2010s.
EDM has been infused in hip hop. It's the second most influential genre of music besides hip hop, being the leading one. That's why all these hip hop artists now, they get a good record for the streets. They end up they add a little R&B to it, and then next thing you know, they're at the dance clubs. Stuff's getting remixed to be in dance, so they go international. Yeah, and eventually we won't even need that. Just put the instrumental on, and let us make our own raps, child.
Child, they got like phone apps that make songs now. I'm like, what it? And I think, I love that everybody's getting the option to make content though. Yeah. But like,
it kind of oversaturates the market, and radio is dying, so you don't really know what's new unless you go out there and find it yourself.
And there's like a billion podcasts,
Spotify and Tidal and all that kind of stuff. It's an interesting pool to wade through. But speaking of, y'all can wade through the pool and go find my music on Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube Music, and you can also go to thederekdoll.com and go download some music there as well. Okay.
Period. And with that being said, that's it for this episode of the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the convo. Until next time, I am your host, Darren Green.
I'm Prince Derek Doll. I go watch this Janet Jackson documentary.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And this is the Darren Green Show signing out. Bye, y'all.